it going?
Good. I'm anxious to see this.
Good. Tim, I've got a couple things for you. This is trim levels of all the CRVs. It shows you what comes on what, so it's all additive. So this will add to this, and so on and so forth.
Gotcha.
The other thing I have here is I can tell you all about the CRV and things, but it's nothing better than looking at third-party perspectives. So you're going to see from Kelley Blue Book to Car and Driver to Union of Concerned Scientists what they think of the Honda company as well as CRV. Okay.
Well, that's nice. Thanks.
The CRV came out, it was introduced in the Chicago Auto Show in '96, came out in February '97 to the U.S. market. From that, they went from '97 to 2002 with the original one. It was used to replace the Passport. They didn't think it would, and that in the competition of the RAV4. From 2002 to 2006, they went through the second generation. They added a few extra trim levels, as well as plastic fascia and stuff like that. This one's from 2007 to present is what we're currently dealing with.
Right.
The amazing thing about the CRV is it is the #1 selling CRV in the country. And I'm not talking by a small margin. I'm talking by almost in the neighborhood of 30,000 vehicles. This is outselling its closest competition. Okay?
Nice.
Now, I know that storage and hauling's really important to you, Tim, right? Okay.
Yes.
So a couple of things here. We've got plenty of rooms for your golf clubs. I know that you like fishing as well that you were mentioning to me. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So what's neat is the CRV is the only vehicle that actually has a center 40-40-20 split seat, meaning that you can just pull down the center, put all your fishing rods in 4 buddies, so your buddies aren't, shoulder to shoulder as you're taking them fishing. That's kind of a neat little thing there, isn't it?
That is good.
I'm going to have you hang on to this brochure for a second. I'll get back to that. This is a dual deck cargo shelf, Tim, so now you can put your valuables under there. You can use it for, what do they call it, privacy screen, things like that. You can stack stuff on here as well.
Sure.
So if you have, your granddaughter or something, you got the stroller underneath there.
I'll stack her right on top of it. Sure.
Well, there you go. Just make sure you strap her in. That's what these tie downs are for.
There we go.
All right, cool. And the neat thing is these things will actually pull down. It'll fold down and go flat, so you don't have to put it in the garage and worry about all that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Now, I noticed that you said that storage, another thing, was important. So loading and unloading is really important. You're going to find that most of the competition that you're going to go out there, the doors are going to open like this. Honda's very proud of the fact that these are 80-degree wide opening doors. Can you see the difference that's going to make?
Oh, I sure can.
Loading in and out, stuff like that. Okay?
Yeah.
Tim, what I want you to do is there's a shoulder strap right around the corner right there.
Yep.
You see that? Pull that down.
This guy?
Yep.
Yep.
And now if you reach back there, you're going to see there's a black strap back there. All right? You see that black strap back here?
Yes, I do.
Pull that. There you go. And that's how the seat's going to fold up. And again, you can fold up part of the seat or all of the seat, and everything's going to go like that. Well, another neat thing that people have told me is that when they haul their dogs around, they don't need a separate cage. It kind of creates a natural barrier for them.
Oh, that's a good point.
It's kind of a cool deal, huh?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Now, what makes the CRV and Hondas in general is the engines. Now, that piece of paper I gave you showed you that the Union of Concerned Scientists said that Honda's the greenest automaker in the country, and guess what? They've won that distinction 5 straight consecutive years.
Wow.
Okay? It's
wow.
pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So the engine we have in here, Tim, is called an IV-Tech engine, Intelligent Variable Time Electronic Control Lift. What does that mean to you? It means that this engine will actually respond by how you drive it. Have you ever heard of variable valve timing?
Yes.
A lot of cars use it. Honda invented that years and years ago. And they've gone a step further. What variable valve timing does, Tim, is that when you need more air or more power, it actually opens the valves a little bit longer. Now, let's pretend you had a valve. You open the valve, whatever comes out, comes out. Shut the valve, it stops coming out.
Right.
Valves put air into the engine.
Right.
Okay? So the more air through the engine, the better it breathes, the better it performs. Okay?
Right.
The throttle, but it also takes into effect, are you going uphill? There's grade logic control. This vehicle can actually tell if you're going up and downhill.
Okay.
It tells if you're turning corners, how much load is in the car, things like that. So it's not only just going to give you more gas, it's going to give you the proper amount of gas. And maybe you don't need to use as much gas. So it saves you fuel, saves you money.
I like that.
And not only that, the emissions on this is ULEV, and that's going to give you lower emissions, and that's better for everybody, right?
It is.
Okay.
Sure it is.
Excellent.
Yeah. Good.
The other thing that the drive-by-water throttle system does is you've heard of vehicle stability assist. That means that if you get the vehicle gets in a position where it's going to turn too sharp or too hard, it's either going to spin or roll over or something like that. There are actually G-forces and yaw sensors in here that will say, hey, guess what? I'm turning too fast. I'm not going to make it, so I need to do a couple of things. With the electronic or the vehicle stability assist hooked to the drive-by-wire throttle, the first thing this vehicle will do, Tim, is it will actually cut gas to its own engine. Now, how important is that? Because you have a new teenage driver coming up, I understand, right?
Yeah.
And you know what happens with sometimes you turn. That's not the swerve that gets you in trouble.
It's the back.
It's the swerve coming back, and sometimes, what if they accidentally press the gas and not the brake? This engine will cut gas with its own engine regardless.
I see.
Other vehicles have the system, but they just use massive brake pressure to accomplish the same thing.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, I like it.
Yeah, so the vehicle stability is a pretty neat thing. Matter of fact, in the brochure when you take this home, and I'll actually try to demonstrate this too on the test drive we're going to take.
All right.
But you see here,
Oh, yeah.
goes over there. The other thing unique with the Honda is this ACE body structure. It's called Advanced Compatibility Engineering. When you use the word compatible, what does that mean? It means it hooks up, okay?
Yep.
So what happens is if you get in an accident with a vehicle of different bumper heights, because let's be honest, the bumpers come in this high and they come in this high nowadays, right?
Sure.
So what this does is it makes it more compatible. It stops the vehicle from going over underneath other engines. Now you're not going to be able to compare that because that is very much a Honda exclusive.
Okay.
Now, a lot
I
of
hope I never use it.
I hope you never experience it, exactly. And that's on every Honda, and they use extensive use of high-strength steel in there too, so it's really quite a phenomenon that they use. The other thing that makes this vehicle somewhat unique is they have the rollover sensors, all the front, side curtain airbags, all the safety. You know what, from this vehicle to this vehicle nowadays is pretty close.
Sure,
Absolutely.
sure.
So the one thing that Honda does here is kind of neat. They have what's called a rollover sensor. That means even with vehicle stability stuff can happen, okay? So if this vehicle gets to the point where it's going to tip and goes, hey, I'm not coming back, okay?
Yeah.
It'll actually deploy the curtain airbags. Now the difference being is this. When an airbag deploys due to an impact, how fast do they inflate and deflate?
Yeah, they say half a blink of an eye.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's not going to do you much good if you're rolling over, is it?
No?
No. So what this vehicle does with the rollover sensors is, if this vehicle starts to tip and goes on its side, it actually holds the air in the airbag for several seconds longer to protect you.
That's smart.
Yeah, isn't that neat?
Yeah.
Now, the inside stuff we're going to go through when we go on the test drive. And when we go on that test drive, I'm actually going to drive first because I don't want you to worry about traffic. How much can you see the car? Worry about traffic, right?
Yeah.
I'll worry about traffic. I'll drive about a mile.
Okay.
And then you can press buttons and all that good kind of stuff there.
All right.
One thing I really want to stress to point to you, Tim. Vehicles nowadays are really tight in competition. You know, what's the difference if one has a 1/4 inch more leg room or this or that? So the one thing that makes the Honda CR-V unique and why you should get one of these is where you buy the car. You see those banners over there, Tim?
I do.
Those are President's Awards banners, okay? We have 10 of them up there. There are 1,100 Honda stores in the country. There are only 10 stores that have 10 or more of those banners.
Really?
We are good at what we do, okay? That means you're not going to have problems, and if you do, we're going to resolve it. And how do we do that? Over here on this banner right here, we live by what we call our core values, Tim. Integrity. You know what? I don't know how to describe integrity, but it's kind of like the 10 Commandments. There is not a multiple choice of that.
I guess you're right.
Continuous improvement. That means we're always getting better. We're always training. Responsible individual initiative. That means that if there is an issue, you don't necessarily have to come in here. We're going to get somebody. We're going to take care of that issue, whether it be I have to come get your car, I have to give you a ride somewhere. So that's why you buy a car from Zimbrick Honda. You know, everybody's this close. But when you buy a car, you're going to buy it here and you're going to own it for this long. This is how much time we're spending selling you the car. This is the rest of the time you need to think ahead, think of the future. Who's going to service that car? So now what we're going to do is we're going to go on that test drive.
All right.
Show you some rock and roll stuff, okay?
And you're going to drive first?
I'm driving first.
Let's do it.
Fantastic.
All right.